85%.
Yes.
And it seems as though tolling might just be the only way, to solve that percentage, difference and all of that. Is it fair?
Because
like that.
Look at the number of things we're dealing with right now. We are talking about the insecurity on the road, right?
Yes.
We're talking also about the increased cost of transportation. So you know that this is Nigeria, right? Where the cost of one thing has a ripple effect
on the other.
Right. So if this driver starts to say, oh, we're passing this road, so we have to pay this money. I don't know how it's going to be done, whether or not, the number of times you plow that road will be the number of times you will pay for the toll.
Well, we don't even know the mechanism.
Or once you pay for the day,
you're
done
for the day and all that.
You continue to. So I don't know how that system is going to be, but look at the plethora of things we're dealing with on that road. The cost of transportation, the insecurity on the road, and of course, transporters. I don't even know
the commuters,
exactly.
And the rest, yeah.
So let's hear what your thoughts are. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello.
Hello, good morning, Mata and Judy.
Yeah, good morning to you, my brother.
Uche, good morning to you.
Yes, good morning.
How are you doing today? Please, people should start. Uche. So you want to be selling me? Is that what you want to be doing?
He just asked how's work. That's what you said. And I said very well.
Why can't I ask it in English?
Why are you feeling some sort of emotional feeling now? I don't get it. I don't want to call it what it is, but you know what it is. Anyways, Uche. Feels good. Talk to us.
Mata, don't worry. You're fine.
Okay, no problem. Sounds like a gang, but it's okay. Thank you so much, Uche, for joining us on the show today. Do tell us, what are your thoughts on this?
Okay, you see, the truth is that we don't expect the government to do everything for us.
Right.
And we also have our own responsibilities to play in the society.
Mm-hmm.
But it can only be fair for the citizens to pay this percentage that the government is instituting on us, if only they have lived up to their own responsibilities. Now, come to think about it. Look at the cost of living. Look at the cost of hardship that this government imposed. I use the word impose because they are not doing anything and they are not ready to do anything anytime in order to alleviate this intense hardship they put Nigerian citizens into. And then they still expect us to come and pay. Pay what? How do we get here?
Right.
What do we enjoy as a citizen of this country? Come to think about it. That's one can even look at. I can't even justify tax payments anymore as a citizen in this country. Tell me the reason. Tell me one thing I have enjoyed. See, the only thing I've enjoyed as a citizen of Nigeria is the just to be anywhere I feel like. That is the only thing I have ever enjoyed in this country.
To be anywhere it feels like.
So it is not. Okay. It is not justifiable in any way.
Okay.
In any way, it is not fair. Look at other countries around. Look at other countries where you see citizens happily pay their tax because the government is living up to their responsibility. At least, okay. Look at insecurity. You provide your security. You provide your water. No road. Nothing. Not just mention. No
right.
light. You provide your own electricity. And which all of these things you are paying for it. Look at the increase of VAT. Everything you do here, they collect VAT.
Okay, we hear you, Uche, and yes, some very valid points there, because I mean the reason for collecting taxes, right, is just so that you can channel the resources into developing a particular area.
Right.
But if you collect the taxes and the monies are not being disbursed adequately, or transparently, it calls for questioning. And in fact, when you call those people to pay those taxes again, it might be quite difficult for them to come to the agreement of what you're saying. But yes, this is what we're dealing with today. What do you think about the 4 toll gates that are introduced in the new Abuja
Kefi and Makurdi expressway?
So yes, do let us know.
And especially knowing fully well that we are going to be bearing the burden of 85%. The federal government have already paid 15%, so 85% is left for you and I to pay as we commute that road and all of that. And just as Uche, had mentioned and all of that, the question would now be, what am I really enjoying as a citizen, of the country, right? But then have you also wondered whether or not, if there are alternative, funding options such as public-private enterprises or partnership or budget allocations, were they considered before introducing toll gates, and all of that? Will it address the issue or the root cause of a deficit in infrastructure development as we find it in the country today? Well, we don't know.
Let's take this one. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mata.
Good morning, please.
Well done, and thanks for joining us. Yeah.
This is Maurice speaking from Cardinal Road.
All right, Moses, welcome aboard.
Maurice.
Oh,
thank you so much.
Sorry, Maurice. I thought you were Moses. All right, talk to us, man.
Thank you very much. Concerning the discussion you are making concerning the Abuja Kefi with the toll gates.
Yeah.
That has to be placed. I want to ask, what are the infrastructure that the government supposed to do for the benefit of the citizen? That the citizens are now that are applying that road will have to pay for those infrastructure. Then I don't really know what really these governments are doing to aid the suffering of the citizens of this country. Because we see the previous government under the APC, we see what Nigeria, the citizens passed through, and now we are in another regime. Now, for them to try to put the road in order, we are now going to pay for 85%.
85%. Yeah.
That the Chinese company have made to make the road to be able to apply. What are the governments doing to aid the citizens? Is it now the citizens that are going to pay to remit what the government should have been done for the citizens?
Yes.
So those are I just say, let me just throw this little contribution to what I'm feeling, and I expect what government should do. They are not requiring. I could remember last year that one of the cabinet of the present regime said that Nigeria should sacrifice. Is this still a sacrifice? We are to sacrifice again.
All right. Thank you so much, Maurice. Thank you for that contribution right there.
Thank you, Maurice.
And another question is, now we're very clear about why that toll is being put on that road. We need to generate the money. Let's say that it's okay for the citizens to be the ones to generate the money to pay back the Chinese company, right? For how long is the toll going to be there? Because if you have given a time frame to say, okay, we want to pay back this money, and this toll is going to be here for a period of 1-2 years. At the end of this period, we'll be short of getting this amount of money, so the tolls will be removed from those places, and people can now plow the road for freely. So these are also the questions. Now let's move on to another story. Now it was reported that a popular foreign contractor was arrested in Abuja for vandalizing street lights here in Abuja.
Well, I mean, according to the Abuja, Metropolitan Management, Council, where they say they've arrested a prominent expatriate contractor who was involved in vandalizing streetlights in the territory. Now, the coordinator of the AMMC, in the person of Mr. Felix Obua, had disclosed this, just on Tuesday after inspecting some of the ongoing, streetlight repairs and maintenance. He didn't quite mention the name of the foreign contractor or foreign national. The coordinator had said the company operated by the contractor was well known. In fact, it means you and I know this company if we think deeply. He also added that the suspect would face the full wrath of the law. Now, according to him as well, he said the contractor involved in vandalizing the streetlight, to enable him to get the contract.
So, man, it's
oh, come
crazy.
on, Master. No, my head is about to explode.
It's crazy.
Like, you vandalize the streetlights so that you can get the contract again. Now, is he working by himself? While he was doing all of this,
listen, Udo,
I'm trying to get it.
If a foreign expert
has the guards,
has the audacity to do that,
Lord.
Think of what a Nigerian-based expatriate will do. Because he didn't just see it happen. he probably must have heard it. He probably, he probably must have seen someone do it,
right?
And bring it to the finish.
Or,
he's not going to be executing that by himself.
That's the thing.
Remember, he's going to be sending people on the streets. And who are the people he will be sending? Us as Nigerians. He'll still send us,
the errand boys,
citizens of Nigerians, who will suffer from the blind spot in those areas to vandalize it. It's a vicious circle. And at this point, Uduak, I don't want to blame the government or the expatriates alone.
Okay.
We also
have a part to play. Yeah,
yes.
we do have a very
a
very sad part to play.
Of course.
In such in even allowing things like this to happen. And then we have a very, very resourceful part to play, which of course is to ensure that our scarce resources that have been put into infrastructural development are protected. Because I can't imagine why an expatriate will come in this country, has benefited over time from this country, the resources, of this country, and still have the guts, the mind
to
vandalize so that he can be contracted again
to be given the project.
I mean, Obua actually said the FCT minister Nyesom Wike directed the agency to ensure that Abuja is lit up, which is a good directive.
Of course.
Now, the coordinator had explained that Abuja Streetlight is divided, into 21 lots. That's with 18 lots inspected so far and vandalized and undergoing intervention work. And now, he said there was an impression that those vandalizing the lights were scavengers and miscreants.
We even had that conversation here on radio.
Yes, we did.
We accused the innocent scavengers, right?
Until the discovery that high-level contractors were involved. Oh, what is it that no high-level person is not involved in this country anymore? It begs to question. But then the Minister of FCT, according to Obua, said, giving us marching orders to make sure that Abuja is lightened up. And as a matter of fact, I embark on the spot assessment with my team to make sure things work well. Abuja, of course, they say, is divided into 21 lots. And today they've inspected, of course, almost 18 lots. And they said they've discovered the most areas have been vandalized, which some are, still undergoing, intervention work by the team. Right? They are not impressed and all of that. And they've come out to saying that they've arrested a very prominent contractor. I mean, I'll give it to them. They discovered it as an expatriate who is involved in vandalizing this, street lights to enable them get these contracts. One of the expatriates has been arrested and is in detention. There are still full evidence, to that effect. And according to them, they say our report will be submitted to the minister. We must make sure that those vandals and the people buying the items would not go free. We can't be buying and installing while miscreants and expatriates are vandalizing it. Sabotaging the good efforts of government is totally wrong, and I'm adding unacceptable.
Very unacceptable.
I don't know what would be your thoughts, on this. At some point, just like Bas Martin, mentioned earlier, it has been the miscreants, it's been the scavengers, it's been those who live under the bridges. This is not to say that we are saying, it's a good thing that they operate.
No,
exonerated.
It's not
They're not exonerated.
Yes, of course.
But then again, to think that there's a high-profile, merchandise or individual going on, profiteering from these. I mean, our taxpayers' money, our very, very humble taxpayers' money to those who have been so diligent in paying these taxes. And then you discover that these taxes put into infrastructure development are being sabotaged by somebody that is not even Nigerian. But of course, using Nigerians.
Did you say taxes?
This tax, right? No, the taxes put into infrastructural development,
yes,
right?
Yes.
To put, the street lights and all of that. Somebody is cornering it, is going somewhere else to, destroy the very essence of what should give our society the light, the beam, the beauty. I don't know. Well, we should put out the numbers again in case you missed it the first time. 0907 353 0044 would be the number to call, and the WhatsApp portal number would be 0909 705 4450. How do you think that this should be dealt with, especially in the light of the new information that we've, brought to you at this point in time?
Yes, and we're not leaving aside the conversation about the toll gates, so we'll definitely like to know what your thoughts are. And how do you think, basically, what do you think about, that toll gate and how it should be handled, just like Uduak Daniel has said.
Right.
This is the country that we're leaving, and it's our responsibility to build it with words, with actions, and holding people accountable for the things that they have done. Now, if you ask me, I would say that the expatriate, his punishment should be putting the street lights without giving any contract. Or maybe if the government wants to be fair, they just buy the materials and have him do the installations at no cost whatsoever.
And then please send him packing. Send him. No, it's just because look, Martha, let's not. I don't know.
If it was a Nigerian, if it was a case where it was a Nigerian that was found in other countries, because many times when we hear people say, "Oh, Nigerians are this, Nigerians are terrible people, they go out there causing trouble, they are miscreants," and all of that conversation, when you hear people say those things, up and about Nigerians, it's very disturbing, and it's because we let all of these things go unreported and unpunished. That's why it's looking like, it's a Nigerian thing to behave like this. In fact, I was even going to say it was a Nigerian expatriate. Oh, Nigerians, why are we like that? We didn't do ourselves, blah, 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 blah. Until I read the full report and I discovered that it was even a foreign expatriate. I will follow through with the story. And in fact, when we have updates, we'll definitely keep you guys in the know of what exactly the government decides to do from on here.
But then we'll still want to know what you think, the government should do, all right? Because it's part of our responsibility to also give direction, insight, and foresight, to the government, especially in dealing and handling issues like this, so that it doesn't, reoccur. I mean, we can imagine that this was about a housing. We imagine that this was about, the power grid. Imagine that this was about, healthcare. I mean, these are all sectors that have, touch on you and I, one way or the other, right? Nobody plans to be sick, but you get sick for one reason or the other. You've got to go to the hospital, right? Nobody plans, to live in darkness, but for one reason, we're seeing ourselves in that light. And just to also put a little bit of extension to it, you never know who is vandalizing what. Many times, a lot of people will say, who are the sponsors? Who are those? But now we've been able to identify one.
Yeah.
This should be used as a deterrent, so that other persons who probably are in that, if it's a ring, let us begin to find this ring. Get them all and sanitize the society. What do you think also, could be the best, measure, to deliver as judgment, as a suggestive, judgment to the federal government in this regard? Is it sending the person packing? Is it saying, okay, you are repairing all of the street lights
we're not doing business.
We don't want to do business with you anymore. Just pack your things and go. Or if you still want us to do business with you, you are getting the material. And you are fixing it all. Yeah, you're fixing it all. Or is it also not a wake-up call for us to begin to consider, our own,
we have.
So, but what is wrong with it?
We don't even want to start delving into how this contract. We don't want to delve. Yes, we don't want to delve into how this contract are gotten in the first place, because we all know that it's quite a process. But yes, let's move on to other stories. Remember we talked about the ultimatum that was given to the beggars within the FCT.
Yes.
Now we see that the FCT begins to clamp down on Abuja street traders and beggars as well. Now the Federal Capital Territory Administration, which is the FCTA, has launched a sweeping crackdown on beggars, scavengers, and street vendors, with 34 individuals detained on Monday across various parts of the FCT. Now, the action followed the recent ministerial directive ordering such individuals to leave the FCT. The operation, conducted by a joint task force comprising the police, the military, Department of State Services, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, and other paramilitary agencies, targeted 4 major areas: the city center, the
airport road,
the
Kubwa
Gwarimpa area, the Asokoro Nyanya, Karo corridor,
yes.
all of these areas. Now, the FCT Commissioner of Police, Olatunji Disu, he described the clampdown as a national assignment, and he was directing officers to enforce the mandate with professionalism and resolve. According to him, we will come back and assess our achievement. Then we will go back if there is a need for us to continue. According to the Director of Security, who is Adamo Gware, the FCT plans to carry out the operation both day and night for a period of 2 weeks. So it's not a smiling
because what do they call it again? Is it national assignment? That's what they call it.
It's a national assignment.
I like that sound. I mean, national assignment. Maybe not totally because of the people that they are targeting and all of that. But I mean, I wish we could have a national assignments, for every aspect of because if you also recall, sometime it was earlier this year where the president, when he was marking 1 year, in the seat of power, he had said he had given homework assignments to each governors that they should come back with their report cards and all of that. So that's just by the way. But I mean, national assignments. Can we have national assignment in every other aspect? Maybe it will enhance our social well-being and allow for businesses to thrive, better engagements and all of that, and growth. I mean, just to also add voice to it, there is been a notation of the fact that 15 beggars and 19 scavengers have been arrested across other zones, and they've added that many beggars in the city center had gone into hiding. What were you expecting, though? And continuing the statement, in his words, it says, we realized that most of them heard the voice of the minister, notwithstanding, so they had the voice of the minister, but notwithstanding, we have one or two who are still trying to test the waters, and we have been able to apprehend them. Right? We also have 15 beggars and 19 scavengers that we have picked up in various sectors, and we're still counting. I mean, according to this newspaper tabloid, they have said that there's an arrest.
15 beggars, 19 scavengers, and they were all picked.
These individuals were taken to the FCT ACE Rehabilitation Center in Kuchinkong, Buari Area Council, where they would be profiled and assessed. Well, I like the sound, of that. I mean, rehabilitation centers, because quite a number of us have been saying, what next? What next? You take them off the street. What's the provision? What are you doing? But then another question will be, after the rehabilitation,
what happens?
What happens? What else is happening? Are we just going to have them again say, okay, go and see more? Well, did they really commit a sin? Or would you just let them be and then there's no place, for them to stay? There's nothing, put in place to ensure that these people are diligently doing something, and then they come back again, like you always say, vicious cycle, and they come back again on the streetways.
Whatever the case is,
and all of that.
I think we'll find out in the coming days.
Well, we'll find out.
The government will decide what the government decides. And yes, the FCT minister, of course, is still promising that Abuja will look different by 2027. We will be alive till then, inshallah. To see the new look of the FCT, of course. Just side news, we see FCC arrest 4 bank hackers here in Abuja, and the one chance robber was also lynched here in the city of Abuja. This is the most we could bring to your doorstep today on the Abuja Now segment of the Midday Extra Show.
Exactly. Well, we just want to say a big thank you, for keeping your ears as well as your visuals glued on this very page, on this platform as well. Do we not see a message? Are we taking it?
I think let's take that.
Okay, fine. Anyways, let's take it.
Yes.
We'll leave it. Okay, so this one says, good morning, Martha. And UD, our government lacks deep thinking and direction. You see, the same policy or template they introduced to run Lagos for just the selfish interest of few individuals in the state, as it were, is what they are bringing in. All right, imagine a commuter who buys fuel at the rate of 1,300 naira per liter and also pay toll fees before he can access the road. Tell me at the end of the day what will be his take home. This is a person struggling to survive with his family.